Well, welcome. I'm excited to have Gabrielle Meyer with me. Gabrielle, I have been looking forward to this interview for a long time. Okay, I feel like I'm just going to squirrel all over the place because I'm so excited to talk to you. But, okay, you have written many books, but your most recent books are part of a timeless series.
Yep.
So we've talked about it in the past, but just give a little synopsis of what those are.
Sure. So my timeless series, the first book is When the Day Comes, and the basic premise of that kind of tells you what the whole series is about. So Libby lives in 1774 Colonial Williamsburg, and then she lives in 1914 New York City. She has two identical bodies, which sounds strange, but one conscious mind that goes between them. So when she falls asleep in one timeline, she wakes up in the other. When she falls asleep there, she goes back. So back and forth, no time passes while she's gone. And then on her 21st birthday, she has to choose which life to keep and which one to forfeit. So she's a time crosser. And book 2 then is about her daughter. Book 3 is about the next generation, and so on. So there are currently 5 books released as of May 2025. We had the 5th one come out, and then in November 2025, book 6 comes out.
All right. So this is book 5. This one, well, they all have me turning the page, but this one, I love the mystery aspect of it. So tell us about this book.
Sure. So what I love about this series is each book is really unique because they're set in different time periods. The first book deals with this American Revolution and World War I. The second book, we're all over in 3 different timelines. This particular book is set in 1938 and 1888. And so this heroine, Catherine, this one's unique because there's only 50 years between her 2 timelines. So in 1938, she works for the Smithsonian, and then in 1888, she is the daughter of a doctor and a socialite. But in 1938, she gets invited to the London Museum to put together an exhibit. When she gets there, she finds out it's about Jack the Ripper. And it's been 50 years since Jack the Ripper and his reign of terror. So as she's putting together the exhibit, you find out very quickly, so this isn't a spoiler, that her sister from her 1888 timeline will be Jack's last victim. So she then has to try to figure out who Jack the Ripper is, try to figure out how to save her sister, and kind of the piece of the puzzle is her sister's been missing already for a year. So each book is unique, but this one has more of like that Victorian sleuthing novel that none of my other books had.
Yeah,
so.
No, I really enjoyed it, and I didn't know much about Jack the Ripper to begin with, and so I was like Googling.
Yeah.
And okay, so are there pictures of his victims?
Yes.
Did you have to look at those?
Yes. I didn't have to, but
well, no, I know.
yes.
Did you look at those?
There are pictures. There are crime scene pictures of each of the victims. The last one is the hardest to see.
Yeah.
The book is not gruesome. Like I should say that. You don't see any of it on the page. It's nothing like that. But
yes.
yeah.
Sorry if I insinuated
no, it's okay.
that.
No, you didn't.
No.
I mean, it was in fact gruesome.
But your character had to kind of make an exhibit, and so there's just a little bit of description. And,
yeah.
And then I thought, again, my brain goes to the writer and going, oh, God, did she have to look at all these things?
A lot of people ask me if I dream about the books that I write, and I've never, ever dreamt about any of my books. I have 45 now. But this book, I dreamt about Jack the Ripper as I was writing it. Not the book, but actually Jack the Ripper, and that was terrifying. So,
oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, so I've asked you this in the past on how you keep everything organized. And there's a funny meme that I just recently saw, because this is the way my brain works, and it says how a boy tells a story and how a girl tells a story. And the boys is a straight train track, and a girl's it's all crossing. And I think it should be like how the world tells a story and how Raina tells a story or thinks about things. So I envision like you have this big room in the center picture of your main, character with the red lines. And what I did like about this is you have a family tree in the beginning, and I'm like, yes,
yeah.
But how do you? I mean, the last time we talked, I mean, that, I think it was maybe the second book it was coming out. You've got a lot more characters, and they can intersect with each other. How do you keep it?
It's in my head. I have, so for each book, I have a document that has all of my research links and books, things like that. And then I have just a basic outline as I'm brainstorming and trying to figure out who are these characters and how do they fit together. And then after I have that, I have an Excel spreadsheet that just has scene by scene how the story is going to play out. So then I can actually look at it, kind of see my story arc and try to figure out, all right, you know, like this is maybe sagging here a little bit and I need to up the stakes. But I don't have a master document for the whole thing. People ask that. I'm like, I don't.
Like, how do you remember, like, oh, Maggie could be, or, you know, whoever could be in this, and maybe they could see each other. I don't know.
So part of it is I have a really large family. My mom has 9 siblings. My dad has 8, and I have like 50 cousins. I know all of my cousins. I know all of their spouses. I know their children, right? So so my brain works that way. So I look at my characters as just a massive family. And because I spend so long researching and so long writing, I get to know them very well. So it's just up there in my head.
That's a gift.
Yeah, I do. So when I do sit down to brainstorm like the next story, and I look at, okay, so if, you know, she's living in 1888 and she's living in 1938, I kind of look through my mind and go, okay, are there any other people that she could possibly run into, or what would be the complications of that? And so.
Okay. It's impressive. I am like all over the place. Okay, so you have book 6 coming out in November?
Yes.
Okay, so can you give a little teaser of that book?
So I tell people that if they have read the whole series, book 6 is going to be your big reward. There's going to be a lot of big reveals in that book about different people you've met in the past. You're going to learn new things about them in book 6. But book 6, we also get our first male point of view from a male time crosser in that book. So that story is Through Each Tomorrow, and it's set in 1883 during the Gilded Age in Newport, Rhode Island, so like the opulence of that whole time period. And then it's set in 1563 in the court of Queen Elizabeth. So lots of intrigue and suspense. And it's a brother and a sister. So the brother is still going back and forth between 1883 and 1563, and we get his point of view in 1883. And then his sister, Cecily, she's also a time crosser, but she's already lost one of her timelines. So she is stuck in 1563. She's trying to deal with all of the intrigue at court, and also the fact that her brother, Charles, she doesn't know, is he staying with her in 1563 or is he going to stay in 1883?
Okay.
So I had a lot of fun with that story. There are a lot of time crossers in that one, so you get to see lots of different things going on. So,
you know, it is so funny. I'll be reading and I'm like, forget that this is not real. Like, you cannot time cross.
Right?
I mean, you did a great job.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I've had people ask me, they're like, are you a time crosser? Like, no, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, I don't know that it would be a great existence,
I don't know.
right?
I don't.
To have these 2 time periods
It's
and
a
then
lot
have
to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty tough decisions that have to be made in those books. So I think this is my most important question I'm going to ask you is, how many more of these are you going to write?
So it was just supposed to be a 3-book series, and then it's just taken off and become very popular. And so we added up to book 7. So number 6 comes out in November. Number 7 has a title. It's called Into a Golden Era, and that one comes out in May of 2026. And so we just, there will be a books 8 through 10 now. Ooh. We just started making plans for that. But now I will start releasing them 1 a year after that, just to kind of give myself a little bit more time to do more research.
Yeah, that's a lot, 2 books in a year.
Yeah, 2 books was a lot, but I enjoyed doing the 2 books a year, but I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I just need to go back to 1 a year, just so that I can really deep dive into the historical research, because there's a lot.
Yeah. absolutely. You have 2 time periods you're reading, or
Yeah.
sometimes 3.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so my last question is more on faith, and you know, there's a lot of things that people can believe out there and choose to believe in. Why do you choose Jesus?
Why do I choose Jesus? I think, you know, if I look at the world around me and I look at all of the different world religions, I get goosebumps. Jesus and how he came to earth, how he lived, how he died, and how he rose again. There are no plot holes. All of it just makes so much sense to me. It makes so much sense to my brain. And the personal relationship that I have on a daily basis, it's so real and it's so fresh, and it just means the world to me. So that's why I choose Jesus.
Nice. Well, Gabrielle, thank you so much for joining me and for writing these amazing books and for allowing me to come here and do these interviews. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.